Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a good Friday. We've got a different one for you today. It's a really great company that's specific to you and what you do. I'm going to read to you a quick intro that I have because we don't usually interview a company that handles the back end systems for brokerages. So let me go ahead and read this one for you. This way I don't mess it up. Title: From Spreadsheet Chaos to Financial Clarity, What Brokerage Accounting Should Actually Look Like. Now, I know some of you are like, brokerage accounting? Trust me, you need it. So let me add one other piece to this because some of you may not know Brokerage Engine. We've got Brianne Alston here, whose background as a CFO for real estate brokerages shaped every design decision behind the accounting module. So she's the brains behind all of this. She's going to explain what this all is and where we go here. Welcome, Brianne. How are you?
Thank you. Happy Friday. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today on this Friday. I know that some of you are accounting and controllers, and we're hitting the end of the second quarter. And so everybody is busy. So I appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because I knew how important this piece was as a brokerage and even as an agent, but I just opened up a brokerage nationwide. So we're in 5 states. And I didn't realize how important this piece was until we did that. I'm like, wait, this is crazy that I didn't understand the importance of this as an agent, because really this is like command center. And without it, everything starts falling apart. Nobody gets paid on time. And then we start losing agents. So when it comes to what you've built here with Brokerage Engine, why do you think so many independent brokerages and bigger brokerages are attracted to it?
So let me back up a little bit and explain my background, because I think it's important to know how we got here. So I have been in the real estate accounting since my early 20s, from overseeing accounts receivable and doing accounts receivable, accounts payable, commission processing, reviewing transactions, and then eventually being the CFO and at one point a COO. So I've seen everything from start to finish. And with that, we realized that there was so many inefficiencies in what was going on. Even if you're a small brokerage to a large brokerage, there are so many things between the front desk needing to invoice an agent for postage, the marketing team needing to communicate to accounting about anything that they need to invoice. There were so many things that happen that we needed to have one system where everybody operates and we can be efficient and get the agents paid faster, get the broker owner information that they need, and just in general be efficient for growth.
Got it. And so when we're looking at this as an independent brokerage or a bigger brokerage that's got maybe a couple thousand agents, well, why are agents attracted to this? Why are brokerages attracted to this?
I think the agents are attracted to it because they can see their listings, their marketing. They can order their marketing through the system. They can, they have reports on their end that they can see how their listings are performing. And for brokerages and broker owners, there are so many ways to be efficient with your team and a lot of the departments, whether it's the listing team, the transaction team, compliance, accounting, marketing. Brokerage Engine hits so many of the different departments to reel everybody into one system where we can communicate, see everything in one place, and make our teams more efficient so that we have the ability to grow. A lot of the brokerages today are having mergers and acquisitions, and it's important to have everything in one system so that you can be efficient, you can make real-time decisions, and it also gives you the ability to have the growth that's necessary today in our industry.
Okay, let's dig in a little bit on that one because I've got a question, and I'm using me as an example because we're a newer brokerage. So when you're getting a small brokerage or even a team that's like, you know what, maybe we need something like this as we transition over to a brokerage, because we're watching that too. What are they typically using before they get to you? Are they just using like a whole bunch of different things, Excel? What do you find that they're using?
They're using Excel. There's Post-it notes everywhere. There's and I will admit, before Brokerage Engine, that's how I operated. It would be a Post-it note from the front desk. Hey, I need to bill this person, or hey, we're changing this agent's commission schedule. So it's a lot of spreadsheets, and at that point, things are outdated. Even if you're trying to track your pending transactions, you're trying to manage cash flow. There are dates. Maybe you have dates for certain team comp plans that expire at a certain point. Some companies that have come onto Brokerage Engine, we've noticed that those things have expired and nobody really knew because there wasn't any notifications. So having everything in our system and triggering different tasks and notifications has been really helpful for even the small brokerages to the large ones.
That makes sense. And what do you think is the biggest surprise when people do switch over?
I think the biggest surprise is they didn't realize how inefficient they were. They have more time for their staff to do more important things. I will tell you, sometimes when we go through implementation, there's a little bit of pushback of, oh, our things are really complicated. I don't think the system can handle it. Or, this takes hours. I don't know how you're going to be able to do this in Brokerage Engine. And we've been able to prove that it can and give the team more time to focus on things that matter, the ability to support the agents in a better way, instead of being bogged down with all of these spreadsheets and things that really aren't giving you value or giving you the ability to provide value to the agents.
Do the agents have the ability to log in and take a look at everything that they have access to on this? Does the agent get their own portal?
They have a login so where they can view their listings, they can view their marketing, they can view reports that are being sent to their clients. They can review their production reports. They can review their transactions, their documents. So, and they also can communicate back and forth with the compliance team, the marketing team, the accounting team. And that was important to us because when our broker owner had a challenge by an agent, he didn't have one place to look. We would have to forward emails to him. He can go in and see the communication that we've had if, an agent is saying they didn't receive some type of marketing or they didn't know where their transaction is in the system. So it was a game changer for us.
Okay, I like that. And typically, who or what type of brokerage has the biggest success with your company?
I think, in my opinion, I think they all do. We have had small companies that are just started or just joining a brand, and we've been able to help them be more efficient, have everything in one place, just like I've mentioned before. And larger brokerages having the ability to really scale and help with the complexity of mergers and acquisitions. So I believe that, we can serve all types of brokerages, whether they're independents or part of a brand.
That's interesting on the mergers and acquisitions. It's the second time you said that. And now I thought of something different because as we're growing our brokerage, we're coming across different small brokerages that are coming up to us and saying, we're done. You want to purchase? Right. And this is what we're getting back, by the way. We're getting back paper and their scribbles on it. And it's saying, this is how much we're making here. This is how much we're making there. And that to me is probably the biggest surprise, in that somebody's looking to be picked up, but they don't have all of their stuff in one place. And I'm having to like decipher different docs, throw them into ChatGPT and be like, hey, put this all together into a spreadsheet so I can actually make sense of this stuff. Go back to the owners and be like, does this make sense? Is this right? Because this is all I got from you was chicken scratch. So I love that you do that, because I feel that piece alone, allows the company to actually show their value without having to guess, because I think that's what they're doing right now. They're guessing.
Yes, it's very true. And we have had brokerages come to us, just like you described, and our support team and our implementation team have been really great in taking that information and making sense of it into our system, and really showing these broker owners and the companies that, where their value is and how they can be more efficient and effective.
Okay. So I have a question, because I want to understand what other tech you work with well and which ones you don't, right? And what's coming next. The number one question that we get when we look at companies like this, or at least we see other companies get that are like yours, are what does it integrate with? Does it integrate with Dotloop and SkySlope? And if it does, how does it do it? If not, why not?
So yes, we do have an integration with SkySlope. I believe we do with Dotloop as well. And then we also have our own document management and compliance as well. So, and I understand that, some of the brokers don't want to make that change because their agents are very used to what they're using. And, you don't want to upset the agents and make that type of change. So that's part of why, even though we have our own documents and compliance, we do have that integration with those two companies. And also our accounting can be integrated with QuickBooks Online. And we also have our own accounting system as well.
Okay, Brianne, check this out, because I'm doing this live, because we've got the brokerage, right? So
yes.
I'm texting my COO, and by the way, she's amazing. And I said, hey, have you seen this company before? Did I bring it up? Because I'm interviewing Brianne right now on lab codes. And she's like, let me take a look. And this is as we're doing this. And then she comes back to me and she says, no, I haven't seen or heard them, but looks like they compete with SkySlope. So can you ask them for me what sets them apart, or tell them to email me to talk so I can compare? That's number one. So I'm going to email you. Her name's Stacy.
Okay.
And then she says, I know SkySlope is doing a great job, except the rev share portion that could get better. If we can find an all-in-one with rev share management feature or platform, then we'll sign up today. So because we do have rev share. So tell me, how do you solve for that?
So I know rev share is a big challenge and can be very complex. And our development team has been able to really spend some time with different brokerages to understand how they have their revenue share set up. And they've been able to, develop something that works for these complex situations. So that is one thing that sets us apart. But I also want to say, I believe SkySlope has also started an accounting portion as well. And I do believe that our accounting system is built better, in my opinion. And I'm going to say that obviously, because we have the resources, and for everybody out there, I use the system every single day. I am currently a CFO of some large brokerages, and I use it every day. And anytime that we find that we need improvements in anything or in specific module, we reach out and start working on that. But I just feel like our accounting is more I don't want to say experience, but it's a little bit better because it's all in one.
Well, I think, yeah, and look, I've dug into the company, and I'm surprised. We just got our new COO. We just hired her 3 weeks ago. So that's why she hadn't heard of it from us, because I'd taken a look at this and I was very impressed. So, how do we get a hold of you, Brianne? Because Stacy does want to talk to you. We may be the first sign up for you today. So
Well, thank you. Yes.
how do we get a hold of you, or who do we get a hold of?
So you can email me, and I can, get you to our sales team. I know that
Okay.
some of them are on the call right now. I don't know if there's a chat box going or not, but you can email me at brianne.alston@brokerageengine.com, and I can get you into the right hands.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to email you once we're done here. Let me make sure I got it. Yep. Excellent. And then I wanted to show really quick something. So I'm CCing you with Stacy Morrell. Stacy Farmer. Sorry. She just switched her. I'm going to show you something I've got here, because I kind of want to go through that all-in-one that you were saying that simplifies our life as agents. So you've got, what you got here is a knowledge base. If I click on here, this is on the website, guys, so you can take a look at brokerageengine.com. But when I'm looking at listing, transactions, agent billing, documents, tasks, marketing services, all of this, which one? Because in different stages, we need different things as brokerages, as we grow, as we start. Which one would you say is the lifesaver for a newer brokerage or a smaller brokerage?
Transactions.
Okay, dig into that, please. What do you mean?
So I believe there are a lot of lost dollars or potential lost dollars in lack of tracking commission plans properly. And also within our system, you can set parameters on what commission percentage you're expecting. And if you don't hit those parameters, we have a report that shows you commission dollars that are lost. For example, let's say you're a 3% brokerage, but you only you have an agent that's only receiving 1%. Well, we'll identify that for you and show you the lost dollars, not only for the agent, but for the brokerage. And I think a lot of times that's missed, especially in spreadsheets. You're not really looking for that. And then also managing commission schedules, actually seeing how the transaction lifestyle works from beginning to end.
Perfect. Okay. So, and then let me go back to this really quick. When we're looking at the totality of it, what else besides transactions would you say smaller, newer brokerages look at?
I think, and this is me personally, agent billing is a big one. I also feel that there can be lost dollars there. This was a big one for us when we created Brokerage Engine, because there was the communication that we had from marketing to accounting on what to bill back agents happened in a Google spreadsheet. Whereas now, if an agent orders something, or even an administrator can order on behalf of the agent in Brokerage Engine, it generates that invoice automatically. And if an agent has their credit card on file, it'll process payment automatically. So I believe I actually know that has saved us a lot of time and making sure that we're billing back properly.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually, we watch that happen. I do see, not just, by the way, not just in the brokerage, but I also see it because we run a software company, and we run an advertising company, an agency, and that right there, what you just mentioned, all across the board, all companies need that piece, which is interesting. All right, so then what's your favorite feature here? Because I feel you're a co-founder, you built this thing from scratch. What's that feature that you absolutely love that you think maybe doesn't get enough love, or people don't understand it, but it's crucial?
That's a great question. And so I feel like two of them, I actually have three. So one of them is the transactions. The second one is the agent billing. And the third would be our transaction tags. So we have the ability to tag transactions, or whether it's in the commission module and or in accounting. And I'll give you my favorite example.
Okay,
sometimes at the end of a month, and I'm reviewing with the broker owner, he'll say, what happened here? And I would say, well, Jay, you had a lot of exceptions that had your name personally on it. And we created a tag, and it was called #JSaid. And anytime
that's funny.
Anytime an exception came in, it said, well, Jay said I could do this. Well, Jay said my split is this, or Jay said we're going to do this. I had our team tag it, and you can run a report in Brokerage Engine by tags and say, here you go.
You're Jason, look, you're screwing up. You keep on.
This is what happens.
Nice. You're too nice.
Yeah, you're too nice. So, and you can tag for any other reasons as well, not just that one, but that was my favorite.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense, because you can track certain trends in the company with the tags, and then you can get ahead of them if they become an issue like Jay's.
Yes.
I love that. All right. So then AI has been getting integrated into different tech now. And some of it has been great, and some of it completely sucks. I've seen both. How are you guys looking to integrate AI in the near future?
So that is something that is being worked on behind the scenes. I would like to say, we're being very careful on what we release. Good. I feel like you have one shot probably when you go out there with this, and we're being very careful with what we're going to put out there. So more to come on that. It's a work in progress but it has been happening behind the scenes. So we're just not ready to release anything just yet.
It makes sense. I'd rather you be careful, because the product you have is a little different than a CRM. A CRM's per agent typically. And I know some CRMs are enterprise level, but when you tweak something and you put AI in it, it can completely mess up everything, especially with what you do, because it has to do with money. And so I'm glad you guys are being a little bit more careful with that. Now, anything around the corner coming up that you're excited about, that you're going to release, that's ready to go, and you're like, this is going to be great?
Well, like we mentioned, the AI is coming. There's some enhancements that are going on regarding the transaction module, possibly in the documents module, but more to come on that. I'm going to stay silent right now. I don't know who else is watching.
I try to take it out of you, but you're not budging. No. All right, Brianne. So when a company jumps in to use Brokerage Engine, what is that experience like? Are you guys a lot of hands-on? Do we get our own rep? Does the process involve a lot of hand-holding? What is this like?
Yes, so the process does involve a lot of hand-holding, a lot of questions. And I know sometimes it may seem kind of annoying. I've been through some implementations in other systems, and when they ask me a lot of questions, I'm like, why are you asking me that? And then later I realized what they were trying to get out of me, right? You know it in your head, but they have to get a lot of the details out of you. And so our team is very good on making sure that the setup of their commissions, that's a big one. That's very important. You can't really, you have to be mindful and careful in regards to that. Our team has been trained. I know a lot of times you can call some of our competitors and get somebody on the line that really doesn't understand. We have personally trained Jay and I and others, the real estate brokerage, understanding company dollar, understanding the language that everybody in our industry uses, and they are able to communicate back in that world. And some of them we've even sent to one of our brokerages and sit with different people in different positions to learn how it works. So we've been very mindful and making sure that our team, when you call in or they're assisting you with your implementation, know exactly how a brokerage operates.
Got it. I like that. I think it's important, and what our pain points are too. That's why I like where you come from, which is you've grown into this and you built it, and now you're modifying it based on your experience with brokerages. I think that's why I think you guys have been so successful, because you're hitting our pain points, right? Like, and I watched it live because I sent it to Stacy. She's going through the website and she's like, and she's texting me still. She's like, this hits all of our pain points, Tristan. I'm like, okay, I'll connect you. Don't worry. So that's cool to see. That's cool to see. Well, thank you for being on. I appreciate this. Anything you want to say in closing here?
Just thank you everybody for joining us today, and we hope to hear from you. If you want to know anything more about Brokerage Engine, I'm happy to get on a phone call, or just email me and we'll get something scheduled.
Perfect. The website, everyone, is Brokerage Engine. Let me just share it really quick. So this is where you're going to land if you just type in brokerageengine.com, and you can scroll down, you can take a look. Where I went earlier was over on the right. I clicked on knowledge base, and the knowledge base breaks down everything that they do. And if you click on any one of these, you expand it more, and then you can have more fun looking at everything they do in detail. Thanks for being on, and continue to build something that's even more amazing. So, absolutely. And then watch for Stacy. I'm excited to see that conversation.
Yep. All right.
Thanks so much, everybody.